it's Beauty Junkay. Welcome to my channel. Today we are getting into a full face of Chantecaille. I picked up 6 new products from the Chantecaille Sylvie's annual birthday sale that happened at the end of July, and so I got my order. I've tried it a couple times, so I want to give you my thoughts and impressions on the products that I picked up. I did pick up the Future Skin foundation. It's this one in a jar. I'll be comparing this to the Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer, also from Chantecaille. So I'll be doing a side-by-side little swatch comparison for you guys on those. I picked up one skincare product, the Biolifting Mask. This is their small little trial size. It's 15 milliliters. This is an anti-aging cream mask. I also picked up the liquid highlighter, the liquid Lumiere in Sheen. I picked up an eyeliner. This is the Brightening Eye Kajal in Nude, which is for the lower inner lash line. A tool, so this is the mini buff and blur brush. This is a travel small size of their larger version. This is all synthetic. Very dense brush, and it did come with a little pouch. And then I also picked up a Chic lipstick, which is a new formula for me. It's not new to the brand. I picked up Tea Rose. So we will be trying all of these out today. So what I love about this mask is it's very much a creamy moisturizer texture. It doesn't feel weird at all. It feels very comfortable. This is the texture, if you can imagine what this is gonna feel like on your skin. It's very comfortable. Like, I know I'm gonna be tempted to and going to forget to rinse this off, but this is a rinse off mask. You don't leave it on. I will guess that it's because of the firming properties that you don't want to leave it on too long, and you can kind of feel it sucking up your skin, kind of sucking up and feeling a slight firmness with this one. If you've ever tried any sort of firming skincare, you do kind of feel a difference. So yes, this is a very comfortable mask that you keep on for a little bit, maybe 30 minutes, and then rinse off. This is 15 milliliters, 0.5 ounces. I believe this was like $51. I'm glad to have a little bit more product to try rather than a little tiny sample. So I'll let you guys know what I think about it, and I'll share all the details in a future video. Now let's get into the Future Skin. So this is Alabaster. This is 1 ounce of product, lasts 12 months. Now, I was hoping to pick up the cushion version of the Future Skin in the sale, but they excluded all philanthropic products. So I couldn't get the cushion 30% off, and it's $128. It does come with a refill, but that's just too much for me, especially cushions. They tend to dry out faster, so I'm not gonna spend that much money, especially if I can get a very similar version for a lot less money. I think this is around $80 full price, and then I got 30% off. So this texture is very unique. It's a gel texture for a foundation, but a lot of people critique this one for its messy packaging, and I have to agree. This is not ideal for a foundation. We all like pumps. The little plastic cap there gets stuck to the top of this every time. This thingy right here gets stuck to the lid, which kind of keeps it all from coming out. But it feels really nice. I have to say, this foundation feels really cooling, and I think I get really good coverage with it. I heard you get less coverage than this guy, but I don't think that's true at all. The only thing I'll say again with the packaging is, because it's so accessible, you probably will be more likely to over apply with this foundation, and I just stuck a whole bunch on my finger. Let's just do a little swatch comparison, texture comparison between these two complexion products. I'll just take a big chunk there. So this is the gel texture of the Future Skin. It honestly feels like a moisturizing cream gel hybrid. It's very cooling. And I think you see, like, this is not like a wimpy coverage. It's a good amount of coverage. And then let's look at the Tinted Moisturizer, which I absolutely love. You can use it with a brush or your fingers. I often use the fingers with this one. And this one feels lighter, not the gel texture at all, more like a regular lotion. But they both are really pretty. I'm seeing slight differences in color, even though these are both Alabaster. But that is the difference in texture there, which I think you probably can't see a whole lot of difference, but they feel different. I think the gel feels a little bit more thicker and substantial, but I don't think that's really a bad thing. So, Future Skin, Just Skin. But I wanted to note a couple of key differences between these two if you guys were contemplating which one should I get. Just Skin, 1.7 ounces, 50 grams, 1 ounce. So more product with this, and it comes in a nice squeezy tube, which I think is a lot more convenient, less messy. This has an SPF 15, which honestly isn't super high, but it might be better than nothing for some of us. This comes in 8 shades. This comes in 15. The compact version comes in 8. So they're both $79. I don't think the texture and coverage is huge enough if you're worried about that. I mean, it's all about preference. If you like a little bit thicker of a gel that's cooling, you might like this. If you want something more like a lotion, pretty lightweight but still gives coverage, you might like this. But I would, suggest if you're traveling a lot or you just bring your makeup everywhere you go, this is a lot more travel friendly than this guy. They do have a compact, but it's a lot more money, which if I had to bet probably isn't worth the price difference. So just wanted to note those couple of differences between the two. I think Chantecaille and a lot of high-end brands' biggest fault is they don't have enough shades and options and everything. But I think especially with this brand, even like Chic shades, they have like very limited selection in their liquid cheek products. There's 3 colors in this. There's 3 colors in the highlighter. Like, it's just an overall issue with the brand for how expensive it is. Pretty unfortunate, but let's get into Future Skin. I'm going to dip in with my finger. I did try using this with a brush, and I think it's probably my fault in that I don't know how to use a brush that well with this product yet. I had a little bit of pore catching, so it just didn't look quite as smooth, but when I tried it later with fingers, it looked a lot better. So I'm going to use the finger method. I'm just going to go in this messy little pot here and tap on, and then just rub in with my fingers. And I think I'm hoping you can see like how relaxed I am about this. With a normal foundation, I probably would get more coverage, but I would not be relaxed about applying a foundation with my fingers. I mean, it's just not something you see all that often anymore. But with this kind of foundation that's more light to medium, buildable, it's super easy, which I think I can just apply a lot faster with my hands. But if you have like full coverage needs, or you think you have full coverage needs, this probably will require you to layer too much. So just know that both of these foundations are more on the light to medium side, but for these types of products, I think the coverage is more decent than you think it will be. Like, comparing these to other products, I think the coverage is good, but some of you will hate it. So it just depends on your preferences. You're definitely going to see your skin, very skin-like products. And it doesn't stay tacky, especially when you're using your hands to kind of blend in the product and melt everything in. It's just, it's not oily or greasy. It's not super dewy. It looks pretty nice. Now, is this going to hold up through lots of sweat and exercise? I mean, it's so light. If you do sweat, I doubt there's going to be any bad result, but that coverage is probably going to go away pretty quickly. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, there we go. Future Skin is on. I could honestly keep going with the layers, but I think I'm good with just that amount. I mean, overall, I think the formulation's pretty dang nice. I cannot complain at all, except for the packaging. Alright, let's do a little concealer. I don't have a Chantecaille concealer because they sold out during the sale, so I'm using the Sicily Stylo Lumiere. This is more of like a brightening pen. And I always use things like this when I want my concealer coverage to match my foundation coverage, which this is really light. I wanted to pick up the Chantecaille concealer click pen, but yeah, sold out before the sale even started. Right, I'm not bitter at all. This isn't new, but part of my collection already, the Cheek Gelée and Happy. This is a liquid peachy pink blush. I just love the texture of the gelays. I'll say that they're not like super long lasting, but they're really easy to apply, and I just love the texture of them. They're so user friendly, and I think this is one of the products that really made me fall in love with the brand, the Cheek Gelée. They're so good. Alright, let's get into the liquid Lumiere. So I think I got the shade that fits me the best, but I think it's a little bit deep of a nude, shimmery silver. I like the platinum part of it, like the silver sheen to it, but it's pretty dark. A darker nude, I would have preferred something a little bit lighter, but this is kind of the lightest I think that they had. There's only 3 shades. You can mix this in with their foundation. I really like the light texture of it, and surprisingly this is pretty impactful. You would think this kind of brand would do something really natural and almost not noticeable, but I think for a liquid highlighter this is really pretty. I would have preferred the shade to be a little bit different, but I think it works well enough. I mean, even though I'm pretty pale, the nude, at least in this lighting at this moment, I think looks okay. And I think you can see I'm doing this all over my hands, so I love how fast it is. Now let's look a little closer at, see how my pores look. Yeah, I like this highlighter. It's a little bit upping the ante on the sparkle. It's not glittery by any means, but it's not like a super natural, you can't see it. You can definitely see this highlighter, which I like. As far as the Future Skin on my nose, I'm seeing some redness still here. I'm gonna go in just a little bit with a little bit more on my nose, because I want to at least make sure this is good and covered. I think a downside to applying with fingers is my nose doesn't always look that great, so I probably need to use a sponge for my nose. I think this is a really pretty natural looking, very skin-like finish. So I'm going to continue on with powder, and I'm going to be using the Chantecaille Loose Powder and Light. This is something I believe I picked up last year, and it's now like my exclusive translucent powder, although I think it's a little bit thick for me. But I'm using a large brush with this rather than the Buff and Blur that I just picked up, because that brush is very dense and I don't want to pack on the powder too hard. So I'm just going to do a light dusting everywhere to set the face. And then I'm going to go in with my Perfect Blur powder. And I have the Hummingbird version. Still lots of product left. And then I'm going to go in and use this. And you don't need to use a lot because of how dense the brush is. And I'm just going to swirl over my areas that I want to blur, which is the middle of my face. And this is such a soft, really easy to use, very conveniently sized brush. I really like it. This is a really important purchase that probably most people will overlook. And I love the little bag, so I can just pop this in my purse and be able to touch up along the way. So for bronzer, I am going to use a product of, I think this is my first Chantecaille product. This is the Real Bronze in Goa. It's very deep. I use just a little bit because it's dark for my skin. So another critique of the brand is that they don't have a lot of bronzer colors. They have 2 bronzers in this type of product. 2 colors, I mean, in this type of bronzer. So pretty limited, but unfortunately I think that's kind of common with high-end, is that you don't have a lot of bronzer colors for whatever reason. So just a little bit of color here. Personally, I wouldn't use the buff and blur with this because I don't want to pick up too much product. So I have my eyes and lips left to do. I didn't buy any new eyeshadows, so I'm going to be using some Chantecaille shadows that are already in my collection. And then I'm going to come back and show you how the Brightening Eye Kajal looks on my lower lash line. So I will be right back. Alright, my eye look is almost complete. I used a few eyeshadow products. So I have the Lachrome Luxe Eye Duos, and these were sold out when the sale happened, but I have these from the past. I have Grand Canal, which I used this shade on my inner corner. It's kind of a light gold. And then I used Tibet. This duo, I used this shade. Kind of all over the lid and in the creases, and then the kind of eggplant shade on top with the shimmer glitters in it. This is one of their philanthropy products, and this is the Luminescent eye shade Smoky Burgundy. This is for the Crane. So really pretty shade there, just a single eyeshadow. These are really expensive. Like, while this is a pretty shade, I don't think it's worth the price it is, unless you're really, you know, wanting to support the charity for the Crane. I think it's, although a beautiful formula, I don't think these single shadows are worth it. It's not something I reach for that often. But they do have some very neutral shades if you want to support the charities. I mean, they're really decent eyeshadows. So just want to note that. And then for eyeliner, I use the Luster Glide eyeliner in Violet Damask just on the top. And then let's get into this nude one here. So the reason I picked this up is because it's not just a plain bright white, which I think looks a little bit funny on me if I use white. So you can see it's very nude. My only critique with this is I think they should have more than one shade, because everyone's different, and I think I probably could have used a little bit of a brighter nude color. But I do think it's a very natural nude. If you want to make your eyes appear a little less red, or make them appear a little bit larger, or you just want to clean up a little bit of a smoky eye, this is a really nice way to do that. You know, some people use these pencils in every eye look. I think if you especially have a deep eye look going on otherwise, a pencil like this really makes sense. If you already have a pretty light eyeshadow on, not This probably won't make as much of a difference visually, but when you have the light against the dark, it really stands out. So I do like this eye pencil. Now let's get on to the lips. As I said, I got the Lip Chic in Tea Rose. I'll go ahead and do a little swatch. So the thing about this formula is it drags a little bit. It's not as smooth and glidey as I thought it would be for the kind of shiny lipstick that this is, glossy lipstick. And you can see how shiny that is. So the formula to me could be improved, but I think the look of this looks really nice, and I really like this color on me. I do have a lip veil color in Honey Pot. I do not like the color of it, but it's certainly more smooth than the Lip Chic, but I don't think either one has necessarily hit it out of the park for how pricey these products are, but I do like the look of this one a little bit better than the Honey Pot lip veil. But let me know what your thoughts are on the Lip Chic versus the lip veil. Which one do you guys prefer? I think this is a really flattering shade. I like that it has a lot of sheen to it. It's not just a flat matte or cream lipstick. It has a lot of interest to it. Alright guys, that's the final look using all my new Chantecaille products. Well, new to me. What I picked up isn't really, I don't think I picked up really anything new to the brand. A lot of that stuff was sold out, unfortunately, for the 30% off sale. If you guys are curious about this sale, maybe you missed it or things were sold out, it does happen every year. I definitely would wait until the sale happens to pick up their products because they're really pricey. And I don't recommend, although I really like their products, I don't really, like if you know that there's a discount in the future, I don't really recommend spending full price on anything, but I will say they come out with limited edition stuff. Sometimes they sell out, and this year they excluded philanthropic products, so that really sucked. Like this you couldn't get for on sale, so you have to buy at full price. But at the same time, like, more money is going to charity. So although not great for the consumer in your pocketbook, you are going to put more money towards charity, which is always good. But yeah, I mean, I like this brand a lot. A lot of people talk about this powder as being one of the best finishing blurring powders, and I agree, it is really good, but pick it up on sale, send an alert or something to make sure you know when that comes back in stock. They do have 2 shades now, so hopefully that works for you. But you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of products out there, a lot of luxury. I think this is one of those brands for many years has flown under the radar, but more recently, because of YouTube and for whatever reason, it's become a little bit more popular, which I think is a good thing. I just hope that we see a lot more products that excite us. I know they came out with 2 new eye shades that looked pretty, but again, I was like, I want a good quad from them or a good eyeshadow palette. That would be really exciting coming from Chantecaille. Like, I really like the eye duos. I think they're better value for money because at least you get two eyeshadows for the cost rather than just one. But you know, they've had sort of the same duo eye shades for a really long time, so I just want to see more from them. I know a lot of people love this brand for their skincare, their fragrances, so I think makeup isn't necessarily like always been the first priority in terms of development for this brand, but I think they have been catching a lot of people's attention in the last couple years, so I think it's time to just really take advantage of that and give us some good eyeshadows. Anyways, that's just my thoughts, and also give us some more foundation shades. But let me know what you think about this brand. What did you pick up in the sale? What are you eyeing out that's new from this brand? Please comment below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.